decision to let Ethan stay with her. She had been careful not to say or do anything that might give them an excuse to flee with Ethan in tow, and had let out a big sigh of relief when they had finally left. "How's this, Grandma?" Ethan posed, wrinkling his nose, a natural ham. He was wearing the sky-blue t-shirt she'd gotten him. It had a picture of a jumping dolphin. She hoped it would remind him of her when he was back home in New York. She took the photo, then Ethan came around and snuggled into the crook of her arm. She marveled at his complete acceptance of her, a grandmother he hardly knew. "You can take a selfie of us," he said. "A selfie? I do it all the time. I'll show you." He examined her iPhone with adult concentration, then pressed something on the screen. "Hold your arm like this," he instructed, demonstrating. "Then touch the circle." She stretched out her arm, and the two of them came into view on the small screen. "Well, aren't you smart?" she said. "Smile." She took the selfie and studied it. Ethan resting against her white blouse, the roller coaster, merry-go-round, and carnival booths with crowds of people in the background. Her shoulder-length dark hair, caught by a gust of wind, obscured part of her smile. One of the ticket-takers had mistaken her for Ethan's mother, but maybe he'd just been flattering her. Then again, perhaps her bliss was apparent to others. After years of bitterness toward Larry for discarding her like a broken car, she finally had everything she wanted in life. A man she loved who also loved her, time for herself since retiring from her medical practice, reconciliation with her son, and the joy of being with her grandson. If only her daughter weren't going through her own difficulties, everything would be perfect. "I'm going to text this to your Aunt Aubrey, then we can go to the fun house." "Do you need help?" Diana laughed again. "Thanks, but that much I know." She tapped out a quick message to her daughter. "At a church carnival, having a lot of fun. I love this child." She started to smile at him, but he was no longer standing in front of the teacup ride. Her heart stuttered and she spun around. "Ethan?" A group of boisterous children darted in front of her, balloons bobbing behind them. "Ethan!" "Here, Grandma!" She turned toward his voice, her legs shaking, as she released a sigh of relief. Her grandson stood beside a booth a few feet from her, where a bearded man with tattoos covering his arms was throwing darts at balloons. Dozens of gray stuffed animals hung from the rafters. She hurried over to him. "You can't run off like that." "I didn't run, Grandma. Look, they're dolphins." He pointed up at the hanging stuffed animals. "Can we go swimming with the dolphins?" She had overreacted. Ethan had been nearby the whole time. She took his hand, fear evaporating. "Of course I'll take you to swim with the dolphins." Her phone pinged. Probably Aubrey texting back. She glanced at the screen. Her daughter had written, "You are both beautiful. Makes me very happy." Diana wished Aubrey could be here with them, but she had to stay up at Brown to prepare for the classes she would be teaching. The winter semester began this week. It saddened her that Aubrey was dealing with her rat boyfriend alone. Diana well understood betrayal and could have offered advice, or at least empathy, but Aubrey had always been stoic and didn't like burdening others with her problems. Ethan tugged on Diana's hand and pulled her along through the crowd. They passed booths of local sponsors handing out pamphlets, balloons, T-shirts, and hats, Bob's Flooring, Tia's Latina Cafe, Dr. Gary's bright smiles. But Ethan was focused on getting to the funhouse, a one-story building painted neon pink, green, and blue, with the mouth of a giant laughing face as its door. When they reached the entrance, he dashed over to a placard of a measuring stick with the admission requirements. Under 36 inches, wait until you're taller. 36 to 48 inches, come inside. Ethan stood beside the measuring stick, making himself as tall.